Hello and welcome to the Life Pod, hosted by Michael Panayi
and Karim, Daou, brought to you by MK Enterprises, a community based on discussing life topics and driving continual personal development and growth.
Send through any topics you want covered and be sure to follow and tag us on all social media at MK Enterprises. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Good afternoon, MK community. Hope you're well. Welcome back to another episode of the Life Pod. Today we have on Max Strategies, NFT and crypto educator, creator, trader, whatever you want to call it. Expert, does it all. Welcome on, Max. Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
Again, usually when we have a guest on, we like to do just a brief rundown, sort of what you do, what got you into the space, sort of how that came about.
Well, so I come from a Forex background. So I was trading Forex, and one day I kept hearing about crypto this, crypto that, and that was during the 2017 sort of peak in the bull market. And it was right at the top of the peak, and I started noticing that a lot of my friends were actually buying into it. And I was looking at the charts, and it was showing me a sort of pattern where it was declining, and it looked like it reached its top. Well, the rest is history because it dropped quite significantly and people were dollar cost averaging in. And I just started to notice that a lot of people did not understand how to read a chart. And so that kind of got me thinking about that kind of space. And I watched it very carefully. I didn't play into it just right away. I waited for the markets to find its bottom, create this nice structure. And then we ended up going into the markets and making quite a considerable amount of profits. And so in that sort of time span, I've been posting on social media, and I created a bit of a reputation for myself in regards to taking these trades. And
When did that start?
I think...
Like, when did you establish the whole social media platforms and stuff?
I think it was sort of the peak of the bull market run, start of...
18?
No,
19.
No, last year actually on social media, because I kept it private before that. I didn't want to sort of share anything beforehand, but it just kept going up and up. And I noticed that we were coming to a very, very crucial area. And I started noticing that all these social media influencers were talking about, that Bitcoin was going to go to $300,000 and let's get into the market now Whereas
I found a niche
and I noticed, hang on a second, there's a lot of poor advice out
misconceptions.
there. Misconceptions, and a lot of people that are misleading for the fact that the way the markets work is very interesting, right? So at a peak of a market, that is where people come into crypto. That is where you provide what's called the exit liquidity for smart money. So people who are bought down the bottom, who could read the charts, bought at the bottom, and now you are providing a little bit of that exit liquidity for them to exit the market. Mm-hmm. And that's what retail investors who don't know how to read a chart end up doing. So from that point forth, I decided to start educating people. And that just kind of evolved and evolved and evolved from that point forth. And people started asking me, well, can you teach me what you know? And so now I've got, a course and I'm educating others. We're doing one-on-ones. I've got like a 10-week boot camp.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much teaching everything that they need to know if they're going to be an investor. Because there are different ways to actually trade in the markets. You've got, your futures and spot.
I was going to ask that, like, what type of ways are there to invest with this? Because you're saying that there's the process of buying low, selling high. Is there the long-term growth and hold? Is there buy and hold options? Like,
yeah, that's okay. So that's where
you seem like you're not a fan of that one.
No, I'm not a fan of long-term holds, right?
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit. Because let's put it to you this way, right? And this is what I'm going to be blunt and honest with you about the crypto space. And a lot of people don't talk about this.
So you're talking specifically about the crypto and NFT space.
Correct. Well, NFT space, all right, we'll get into NFTs in just a moment.
Yeah, we'll start off with crypto first.
So much going on.
What you're going to hear is going to probably, give you a different perspective on this whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's my goal. So essentially, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, many of the projects that we are talking about that's, traveling on social media and people are interested in investing in, a lot of these are kind of in an experimental phase. They're not a final finished polished product, right? So this whole concept of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is a very, very new one, okay? And so there are these many companies and organizations trying to develop revolutionary type of products and services in the crypto space. And one of the most interesting areas for me personally is the metaverse. I mainly just dabble in the metaverse space. I used to dabble in DeFi projects and things like that, which is decentralized finance. I find that to be very interesting. I can see that actually having a place in our society in the future.
Take notes, people. If you're listening, take notes.
Well,
Do you reckon that's going to be one of the first things?
it's already happening.
I know it's already happening, but to become a part of like society.
Look, with that being said, look what's happening with what's the situation in Russia. Okay, now
I was going to ask you a few questions on that as well.
yeah. So what's happening in Russia is they've got all these sanctions, right, and they can bypass it through cryptocurrencies. Now there is the narrative that Bitcoin is the one that's going to be the choice that Russia is going to be purchasing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got stable coins, guys. Why do they need to buy Bitcoin? You can purchase stable coin. And if you didn't know, Russia has already got a company, Atomize, who they're linked with, who provide commodity-backed stable coins. So they're probably using that instead of Bitcoin. Why do they need to buy Bitcoin? Maybe the citizens might buy Bitcoin because they hear about it.
Is it speculated that they're buying Bitcoin, or
It's
is it
speculated?
Okay,
It's all fucking speculation,
Yeah,
mate.
It is, yeah.
This whole market, you're going to hear all these different
Bullshit, yeah,
stories
yeah.
and narratives. And when I hear all these social media influencers talk, it's like, fuck, shut up. Like, what are you saying? You know, but it's just because it sounds good,
Yeah.
right? And you're going to get viewers.
Yeah.
And psychologically, if I'm going to give you information that you're going to more be inclined to agree with, you're going to have more of a positive sort of response towards me. Whereas if I tell you to sell and get out of the markets, and which I did, if you went on my Twitter,
Yep.
it was at the peak of Bitcoin, right?
100%.
Around 67,000 US or wherever it was, 60 in the 60 USD range. I told people to start selling. I thought that, you know, there's a lot of patterns on the charts that are showing that prices might reverse from this point forth, and you don't want to hold into that drawdown. Now, a lot of people, kind of just brushed it off, and well, who's laughing now, right?
Not you.
Not me. So I got out of that market, and now I'm waiting for the same sort of change in momentum on the charts to then signify that, hang on a sec, I'm going to go back into it. And look, Bitcoin right now is not influenced by Russia, in my opinion, at all, right? They might have people buying Bitcoin, but at the moment, it's institutions that are controlling these Bitcoin right now, because that's majority of the money that's being held, or the majority of the Bitcoins that's actually being held is by institutions, right? They're using that as a deflationary asset, right? Because right now, every single year, your dollar is going down in value by 7%.
Because of inflation.
Correct.
Yeah.
7%?
7%.
Wow.
Which dollar is that, Australian? Or is it just dollar in general? US dollar?
Yeah.
Because I'd read up that it's on averaging, it declines on average about 3% per year.
Well,
it's
that's
market.
the statistics I've heard. So.
Statistics, yeah, I heard 3%. I heard in Russia they actually, because I think this is what linking with what you're saying, they stopped. I don't know if it was the government, but they'd stopped like people being able to use Apple Pay and their banking details and stuff like that.
Sure, no problems. But there are other ways to purchase cryptocurrencies through a peer-to-peer network. That's where decentralization comes in, right? There is so many other networks that people don't actually know about. If I was to go deep into this, you would be confused, right?
Oh, for sure.
Right now, okay, here's what I'll just simplify it for you. We are in an era where you can create a lot of wealth in the crypto space, because a lot of the stuff is like, think of the .com boom, right? How many companies were there back then, and how many have survived now? Not a lot.
Yeah.
We are in that phase.
Would you sort of just describe it as like still in infancy? Was that sort of the best way to put it?
Absolutely. Yeah, correct.
Is it also the fact that in terms of maybe not Bitcoin, but more NFT and the metaverse, that there's no governing bodies there as well?
Guidelines and regulations.
no-
It's sort of just like, cool.
Is that another
If you want to
way?
play, you can play.
The best way I want to put it is like,
Fuck, I've lost a lot of money by scams too, man.
yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
See, like it's the best of
Smart
both worlds. Like
contracts.
you either lose it because there's nothing there governing it, or you don't because you make money because there's nothing there governing it. It's like that period. I don't know if you ever got. I don't know if you played, like, when you played GTA 5, there's always these little glitches and stuff you could do at the start, or like just cheats.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it is at the moment, is like, because there's nothing there.
It's like a demo.
enforcing.
It's like a demo of a game.
Yeah.
Like nothing's 100% set
Yeah.
yet.
No.
And it's like, where do we go from here?
Look, I would say that decentralization is going to have an aspect in society for sure, and it's not without its pros and cons, right? Now, there are good people and there are bad people in the world. And doesn't matter what system you have in place, even with the cash system, right? Still people washing $100 bills and using it in an incorrect manner.
Yeah.
There is always going to be people like that. You can't combat that, all right?
Yeah.
Because there is corruption in the world. It is in our DNA as human beings.
In
okay?
every investment.
In everything,
Yeah.
okay? It is the yin and yang, the balance of the world, the universe. That's what I truly believe
Unfortunately.
in. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, it is, yeah.
But without knowing the bad, you can't know what the good is neither too, right?
Yep.
So, the whole universe is created and designed and fabricated in that way, right? You can't beat it. But what you can do is try to mitigate it, right? And that's what decentralization there are products that have centralized aspects to it. Like, for example, cryptocurrency purchase on Binance. Well, that is a centralized network. They control holding your cryptocurrencies. They have the keys to it. And so you probably hear that in what is having keys and control over your crypto. Crypto is on the blockchain, right? Now, to access that cryptocurrency on the blockchain.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yep.
Because it came up a heap when we put up that story.
Yeah.
And a big question, because obviously there's a lot of people that are new to this space. They said, how does blockchain work? Like, what is it? So if you have to, in layman's terms, how would you sort of very simply describe it before we go on?
Well, I would describe it like a public sort of transparent wallet, right?
Yep.
And in this wallet, you are able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin, right? But with each purchase, there is it's written on ledger where that Bitcoin has gone and come back from. All right. So you can always track it down in some respects. There are ways to kind of find a way to make it more private. Okay, but you have to be tech savvy a little bit and understand this a little bit in more depth. But for the everyday person, they're not going to know that.
Yep.
So they're generally going to do, what they're going to do is go to their bank account, transfer some funds into their Binance or their CoinSpot or Coinbase wallet. Yep. Then from that, they're going to buy Bitcoin. Now that transaction is now linked to who they are, and Binance and Coinbase and whatever knows exactly who you are.
Their
and
ID.
So your wallet address is now linked to your ID. Okay, so now they know exactly who you are. So any cryptocurrencies that come into your crypto wallet that you used as you used by showing your ID, you provided KYC verification, then that becomes very transparent, right? Now, there are others who will create a cryptocurrency wallet on a decentralized platform.
MetaMask type stuff?
Well, MetaMask holds your crypto, and I believe you can still buy it from there as well too.
Yep.
But again, you might need to provide your credit card or whatnot. So your credit card still is a form of ID, and it can sort of be traced back to you, right?
Yep.
So there are other mechanisms and other ways to be able to buy in a sort of decentralized manner. For example, if I gave you cash and I said, "Hey man, transfer me some Bitcoin," now, providing that you got that Bitcoin from another source where they didn't, have purchased that Bitcoin from a centralized exchange, then it can be private and passed on. That might have confused a lot of people, actually.
I'm still on board.
No, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
So the blockchain is basally
An
a
online
network.
wallet where you can buy, sell, trade.
No.
You
Sorry,
can't-
it's not a wallet. It's okay. So let me go back and take a step back. Sorry, it's pretty much a network. Okay, and on that network, every time a transaction happens, also a new block is kind of minted, right? So it has all the data for Bitcoin, the transaction of that Bitcoin on there, right? And as it creates these new blocks and connects these new blocks, each time a Bitcoin is created, a new block is created, then whenever you make a transaction, it is imprinted on what's called the ledger, and that ledger is public and everyone can see it and view that. Pretty much it is just a form of technology in terms of
Tracking transactions?
it's like a complex algorithm.
Yep. Okay.
It's a complex algorithm, and it is a particular type of code, and that code cannot be replicated and duplicated in any sort of way. So it provides a mechanism where it can't be sort of hacked, and that it can't be duplicated, right? And because you have that sort of system in place, then you're able to then say, okay, well, this is something that can't be duplicated and whatnot. There's a scarcity aspect to it. There's a limited amount to then because of that scarcity aspect of it. What they're basically saying is, for example, what gives something value, right?
Scarcity.
Right. Well, scarcity gives a value, or diamonds and gold, for example. It's a rock, right? But it's a utility behind it. So same as this. This is like a digital gold. There's utility behind it. People are going to use it because you can't duplicate it and whatnot. It's a very complex algorithm. And from that point forth, when you do a transaction, you know that it's kind of like secure in that respect. And the more people use that system and that network, the more popular it grows and becomes. Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit complicated to explain.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if I stuffed up your train of thought, but you can continue wherever you left off. If you remember where you were, you asked the question, and then I cut it off. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was just more. I think we were just talking about the whole Russia thing.
Yeah. So in terms of Russia, right, they don't need to purchase Bitcoin to basically get into cryptocurrencies, right? You can purchase a stable coin.
Yeah.
Now, a stable coin can be backed against the US dollar, against the Australian dollar, against, whatever it is that you want to create it to be. Now, they do have a system in place where they have these commodity-backed stable coins where it's backed by gold, backed by cobalt, backed by a whole bunch of different elements that they use, that they actually mine from their own country.
That's interesting.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Like, again, for the general pop watching, how would you describe a stable coin?
Like just that. So pretty much if I had one virtual coin,
yep,
that virtual coin will then be backed by the US dollar. So if I went to go purchase that digital coin, whenever I go to sell it, whatever the US dollar is, it's pegged against that. And that's the sort of return that I'll get from it as well.
Okay. There you go.
Do you want to touch on NFTs now?
No, there's a few more questions that came through.
On Bitcoin, yeah. We had a few questions.
We had a few questions.
Yeah.
This one is from Matt McDonald. He said the main difference between popular blockchains like Ethereum and Solana, like them sort
versus
of versus
others.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting one. They, I guess, look, Ethereum right now, anyone that has used Ethereum, when you're trying to make a transaction on it, it can be very, very expensive. You have what's called gas fees, which are pretty much transaction fees, right?
Yeah.
Is it like a tax or not?
It's not a tax. No,
Okay.
no. I guess it's like a very similar actually in some respects, but it's pretty much a fee that you're paying to make a transfer, right? Because the way it works is if I was to give up my computing power, so I can actually go at home, connect my computer to a mining network and they can use my computer power to then process the transaction. And the more processing of the transactions that I do, the more that I get rewarded back. And so that reward is also how it gets distributed is by basically these people paying these transaction fees.
I don't know if you've ever paid for anything with a direct debit company, but they charge like a very small fee for whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly
the same thing.
Same as that.
Yeah, exactly the same thing as that. But the issue with Ethereum is that when a lot of people are using the network, it can become very, very expensive. You can make a $100 transfer and end up paying $500 in gas fees.
Shit.
It defeats the fucking purpose, right? It's stupid.
Jump.
It's a big jump.
Well, I'm not sure if every coin app is the same, but I use crypto.com and that's a 3.5% with each transaction.
Again, that's a little bit different as well too, okay? So for example, if you were to go on that website and you were to transfer me some Ethereum, you still need to transfer me through the Ethereum network. So you're still going to pay a network fee.
Oh, so on top of
that as well.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Can I go back to the blockchain? I'm assuming the blockchain is like a cloud-based thing where it goes up, right? But there's also that have to be physical computers.
It is physical computers. The whole network is alive on program.
Who owns those physical computers?
Where are they?
Everyone, the whole world. You can't shut it down. That's the thing.
How are you sure you can't shut it
You can't shut it down
at all?
At all.
Like, where
What
is
if
the
they,
base?
like,
I think
where's
that's
the base?
Like, where's
Where-
the base of like
where
there's
are
100
these-
computers?
where are these-
Everywhere.
I thought it was
who-
like one big
Nah.
spot with like a million.
There has
computers.
to be a company or something. This is what I'm trying to get my head around. There has to be a company or something that would have established those physical computers to have the ability to hold
start
all that.
this.
Like, understand everyone.
No, you're thinking of it incorrectly, okay? It's a software, right? So it's a very complex software,
Yeah.
right? And that software can be run on any computer in the world.
Okay.
And as soon as you put that online and people are using it, you can't take it down unless you shut off all the computers at once. You can't get rid of it. It's always going to exist.
Crazy.
There's just so many. Like you ask one question and then you give an answer and then my brain goes,
No, 'cause
how
like,
about this? And
I'm thinking of the perspective of a crash. That's
Yeah.
why.
Crash okay. So if, for example, we had a big, massive solar flare and all the computers and
Shut down.
shut down, well, we're going to end up in the Stone Ages anyways. whether your money is in Bitcoin or whether your money is in the bank makes no difference. You lose your money.
That's why you buy gold. Gold and silver.
And there's a security issue, right?
Yeah,
You got holding gold and silver, right? And what if something like that does happen? Look at what happened in Russia. Do you think that you're going to hold gold strapped around you? You're going to go to the border and they're going to stop you on the border and be like, oh yeah, what do you got there? Give me that.
Gone, yeah.
Go through the border, but I'm taking all your gold.
Exactly, yeah.
But you hold the keys to your wallet and you have it in crypto. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, right? I wouldn't buy Bitcoin because it fluctuates too much, right? I'd buy a stable coin. That's more logical. So I would buy a stable coin and I'll keep it in my hardware wallet, right? Or I'll keep it on a cloud-based wallet and I'll remember the password and I'll go through the border.
So this is not financial advice, but I have a question, which is not going to be financial advice. Just so we're all safe. Again, if you had to give, what are the coins, the stable coins you like to invest in that's not financial advice?
Well, that's probably the wrong question because a stable coin doesn't go up in value, right? It just goes, it's pegged against either the US dollar. So if the US dollar is whatever it is, it's going to be that. That's why you would use that. So if you were to buy Bitcoin, for example, that can go up or it can go down, right? So if you purchase $1,000 worth and then tomorrow it drops 50%, well, your purchasing power is cut in half. It's worth $500. Stablecoin, it's pegged against the US dollar. Whatever the US dollar is, it's the US dollar.
Obviously, if the dollar goes up, it goes up. If the dollar goes down, it goes down.
And that's going to be marginal, right?
Yeah, very small amounts.
Very, very small amounts.
So then how do you make large amounts of money with a stable coin? Or is it buying multiple?
No, you don't buy stable coins. So stable coins is just a mechanism that you use to then go purchase crypto. So you use the stable coins to then go buy Bitcoin and then go buy Ethereum and then go buy whatever you want.
How you going?
My brain turned off. That makes no sense to me. I'm confused now.
So, all right, this is what crypto is, okay? You've got your projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, all that sort of stuff. Then you have stable coins. So what you do is, in order for you to buy Bitcoin, in order for you to buy Ethereum, you can transfer your US dollar into a digital US dollar, which is your stable coin.
Yes.
There we go.
Then you use your stable coin to then purchase your Bitcoin, purchase your Ethereum, purchase your Solana.
The computer rebooted, Windows restarted.
Back in the days, right, there was no stable coins. You had to purchase Bitcoin. And this is where the common misconception comes from. You had to purchase Bitcoin in order to purchase any other coin.
So you would have had $100 US and then purchased straight the amount of what it was to Bitcoin rather than having the stable coin.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
All right, cool.
So then stable coins got introduced and then it changed the whole ball game.
Yeah, it would have.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And then if you don't want to use stable coins, you can just obviously put money into your app or whatever it is and then just buy the coin that you
So you can hold it there if you want. And then it's like, all right, now I want to buy, rather than having to, let's say you deposit $1,000 into a stable coin and then it's not you going 1,000 straight to Bitcoin. It's you having it there. And if you want to buy Bitcoin, you can buy it.
Well, yeah. So you got your $1,000 Australian, right, in your account. You still need to transfer it into a stable coin to then go buy it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I've got, for example, a certain amount on my hardware wallet.
Yep.
It's a stable coin, right? It's just sitting there. It's earning me a little bit of interest as well too.
Yeah.
Then what I'm going to do is when the time is right, I'm going to put it into an exchange.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make my purchase.
Yeah.
I'll buy whatever I'm going to buy.
Cool. Now, I want to do a bit of like a segment.
So one last question on that. So, because I'm like, my brain's like farting so hard right now.
Yeah.
So for the everyday person, let's just say, cool, I want to download Binance on my phone. They download it, make themselves an account, and let's just say, cool, I want to buy Cardano. Do they don't need to have a stablecoin. They can just directly buy through.
No, they need to. So you transfer from your bank account to your AUD to your fiat currency into the exchange.
Yep.
Then inside the exchange, it gives you the option to change your fiat into a stable coin.
Okay.
Then you do that. And then you change it into a stable coin. Then you use the stable coin to then go purchase your Bitcoin.
Well, that just goes to show you how like seamless the process is, because I've bought a heap of crypto and didn't even know that happened.
Yeah. How did you buy it?
I'm probably getting scammed. That's all good.
You could directly purchase it with your credit card, right? So you
that's
can
probably
purchase,
how. That's
probably,
probably, yeah.
Karim,
I've definitely been doing that.
Karim, your package has arrived. Please click the link.
I've definitely been using my card. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
All right, you done now? Can we continue?
Yeah,
All right.
continue. Let's go.
So we want to do like a bit of a segment where just so if there are people out there that do disagree with the whole idea of investing into crypto,
You can disagree all you want.
yeah, that's fine. But what I'm doing now is putting the argument out there
Yeah.
and seeing what you have to say about the points that are stated.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
So the first one is that I'm not sure how true this is, but technically cryptocurrency does not generate cash flow. It doesn't, does it?
Can you
All right. So
explain a
for an
little bit more
example,
detail?
if you were to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? You have to sell that Bitcoin to gain the value if you've gained some value.
it's an investment.
It's an investment.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So comparing it to a property, right?
Yep.
You buy a property for $1 million.
Yep.
You have that property grow in equity.
Yep.
And you're getting cash flow from the rent from that property. So the argument here is, why put money into crypto when you can buy a property that generates cash flow and has equity growth as well?
Okay, so that requires a bit of knowledge on real estate, and actually one of my good mates is in real estate, and I was chatting to him in regards to this. He was saying that when you purchase, let's just take a step back. Actually, first and foremost, property is a different type of investment. That's A. Okay?
Correct. That's understandable, but it's like sort of the question is why?
Well, let's put it in this perspective. How much money do you need to go buy property? How much money do you need to invest in crypto? You can go buy $1 worth,
yeah.
right?
Initial capital is a lot higher.
Initial capital is a lot higher. You've got, the deflationary aspect of the dollar. Okay, that's the first thing. That's the other thing. Then you have the other aspect that you're going to have to pay, the counts rates and everything like that every single year. So you say you buy a property, then you're paying all those cancel fees and everything like that. Then on top of everything else, you got that deflationary aspect, and then how much are you actually making profit though? How much are you actually clearing? Sure, over some period of time where you can turn 500,000 and make 300,000, but I can flip 500,000 and make $2 million. If I can turn $5,000 into 600,000, what can I do with 500,000? Do you know what I mean?
So it's capital costs as well as time.
I don't know enough about property to comment in regards to the returns of that.
Yeah, because there is definitely property investments out there that you could do, one with low capital, right? The really, really good investors, like they know what they're doing. They're switched on. They actually don't even use their own money. Just get investors, So there's people out there that can do it like that.
Go for it. But that's a whole different. That's a whole other ball game.
Very simply, what Max was saying is like, if you are going to do that, you'd want to ensure that the property or investment you're buying into is positively geared. So you actually are making a good margin.
Yeah, because a lot of it's negative.
So. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. I would suggest looking into commercial property. That's more positively geared.
Industrial.
Yeah. So I would be looking at that in Australia. That is not in the United States. In the United States, I'm pretty confident that it's real estate property. It's a bit different over there. But I don't know enough to comment about that. But simply put, I don't care. Invest whatever you want to invest in. The crypto markets are going to be alive whether you invest in it or not. It doesn't need you.
Yeah.
Oscar Ledland, please respond.
Well, yeah.
So the second point is, again, which you mentioned something before about how there's gold backing some cryptos. Because the next point was cryptocurrencies are not backed by tangible assets at all. Is that true as well?
Well, at the end of the day, it's can be somewhat true. Like for example, USDT, that's a stable coin. Essentially, they're meant to have like a reserve, right, of fiat currency sitting somewhere in the Cayman Islands or whatever it is, and that's what's holding the value of it. Whether that's to be true or not, I don't know. That's the other thing. Wouldn't have a clue.
So there's the whole tangible aspect of it too.
Yeah,
It's
but
like you can't physically touch it.
Well, let me quit that.
Because I understand as well that value is based on...
What's fiat currency? It's just paper, right?
Yeah, but value is based on a range of aspects.
Correct.
Like value, I could value this mug. This would hold more value to me than it would to you.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be tangible, but I think a lot of people in terms of investing, when they are putting money in, the tangible is a big thing because they know it's there.
Wouldn't you say let's just say you sell, let's say you buy some Bitcoin, it goes up, you sell, make some money. It's like, well, if you take that money out, well, then you've got a tangible
amount.
It is tangible at the point of it being, because at that point it's not crypto. It's cash.
Okay, so it's the same thing with stocks and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's not tangible neither.
No, I know.
Until
I
you sell it, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying these
From
points.
Same with the houses. If you buy a house, you
Yeah.
don't make money on the spot. You've just lost.
There's
the
a
spot.
house there, guys. You can touch the house. You can see the house. It's tangible. A house is a tangible asset.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying in terms of money directly. If you're just talking about initial investment versus initial return, that's what I'm saying. Even just money, obviously not the actual asset itself, just the monetary in terms of profit.
look, you need to start looking at this from a different perspective, okay? Cryptocurrencies, some of the projects, you need to be looking at the technology behind it, okay?
Yeah.
What are they doing in society? How are they going to contribute to whatever it's products and services that are available?
And this is what we want. We want answers like that. Because
Okay.
like, there's people out there that say like, oh, you know, that I'm asking these
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
and they don't know that.
They don't understand
Yeah,
it.
they don't understand. So yeah,
So you need to look at it from that perspective, right? And so cryptocurrencies provide a whole range of new products and services, ranging from finance to the way even the government can work, the way a business is structured
and
through DAOs.
NFTs are showing that too at the moment, aren't they?
So what is an NFT, right? Here's a misconception people have. They think it's this freaking JPEG, right?
we literally had
It's
this
not
conversation. We literally had this conversation with Dylan as well.
I have all these, like, so I go to functions and things like that, and I tell them that I'm a crypto educator, and like, oh, NFTs, you into NFTs?
you sell photos.
And it's like, listen here, buddy. Listen here.
Listen here, buddy.
Number one, if you do not want to take on board what I'm going to say, that's your loss.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to stay ignorant and stay in the dark. No problems.
Yeah.
What is an NFT? It is a smart contract. Okay.
Yep.
Behind it, for example, let's just say, right,
Utility.
I get a mobile phone contract. Okay, I have to go into the store. I got to sign paperwork. I got to do all this bullshit. Right now, imagine a decentralized system where then I buy an NFT. That NFT is in my crypto wallet. I show that and say that's in my wallet, right? And plus, that's actually an NFT as well. It's augmented reality.
I saw that video you posted.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like a
actually
whole
NFT.
museum
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Show the camera your.
Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. So I can take a photo in augmented reality. But yeah. So I have that NFT in my wallet,
Sorry,
and that gives
guys,
me
you
ownership
can't
to it.
screenshot this. That's not how it works.
So, or if I buy a car, right, instead of going to Vic Roads, imagine being able to then be like, hey, mate, send me that NFT represents your car. The code of that has got the VIN number and everything like
Yep.
that. That is on a government system.
Done.
Okay? Send that to me. I'm now the owner.
Yeah.
Now, when that gets sent to me, I have to pay a fee, a transaction fee. That's your government fee. That's everything done in a click like that.
Imagine not having to wait like 3 hours. At Vic
Exactly.
Roads. Fuck. that'd
Who's
be
been to
sick.
Vic Roads and sat there and been God, you
fucking
got
hate
some
that.
ethnic person screaming at that guy doesn't understand this and that.
That's me.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, just give me back my license.
Oh, shit! It makes a very seamless system. It makes it very, very easy.
It's almost like automation streamlining. It's
exactly. We're moving to the digital realm. Whether you like it or not, it's happening. Your kids are going to be involved in it.
Yeah.
You don't have to accept it.
Yeah.
This is a generational move. Now, you can be at the forefront of it and take advantage of all the products and services that are going to come out that can generate you so much money. Look at you guys. You're doing podcasts. Was podcasts a thing 15, 20 years ago?
Nah, not at all.
But I think even if we take a step back and look at like the bigger picture, people underestimate where things are at now. Like again, let's say go 15 years ago. If you want to go to sign up to a gym, you have to go in and write your name down. Now you can just go on your phone. Cool, I like this gym.
Yep.
Cool, how much is membership? Here's my credit card. Boom, now
That's
I'm signed
it.
up.
Exactly.
They don't understand that it's the same concept,
It's the same concept.
but people just get weirded out by the word cryptos and like smart
Or
contracts.
metaverse. Oh, what's this metaverse thing? Listen,
that's
you're already
interesting.
living in a metaverse right now.
Correct, technically.
You really are. Or what's this camera? Okay, you're using this phone. You carry this everywhere you go. So now all of a sudden they're going to provide a product and a chip to your brain. What's the difference? At least I can put this away and have it in my head. That's the future. Whether you like it or not, that is the future, right? So what they're doing, the next step for us going into a more digital realm is Apple introducing the AR technology on their glasses, okay? That's why I'm investing in VV NFTs, because they're augmented reality NFTs with the purpose and the mindset behind of their creation was for augmented reality, right? They're really, really big on augmented reality. They had an AMA recently and they were like, one of the speakers there said that one of the biggest things that for VV NFTs is augmented reality, and we know that that's going to be the future. And like,
What would hold that? What would hold that?
Well, you got your Apple glasses and you download the app on the glasses, and so therefore you can access it everywhere. So imagine like I came into this office here and I had the same app on my phone, on my glasses, sorry, right? And I've walked in and you had a VVNFT standing right there. I could see it.
Superman woman.
Yeah. I could disable it if I wanted to, but then I could activate it and be like, oh yeah, well there's Superwoman right over there. Right.
So would that be then stored on the glasses, or would that be stored on like a blockchain type thing as well?
Yeah, it'll be pretty much. Everything's going to be on a network.
On a network, yeah.
Or would the glasses be connected to the blockchain? Do you think?
Well,
we don't know yet.
So VVNFTs, I don't think are built on the blockchain, right?
Okay.
They're currently built within their app.
Have you seen his museum?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've spent a lot on it.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I've spent a bit on it.
Walking in and like
not
statues, but like it's like an art gallery,
Yeah.
bro. It's crazy.
Don't worry about going to the one in the city with the yellow flowers. Everyone's playing. Don't worry about that. Go see Max.
But there are some NFTs, yes, that are built on the blockchain, and you're going to be able to access it by having your wallet connected into the glasses, and you're signed into it, and everywhere you go, you're connected, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So one more point. That's just a standard one. They're not predictable. Yeah, they're the same with stocks. They're prone to hoarding, so like they're not transferred on a regular basis as other investment.
He already said that he's not a believer in like holding for long term. So I feel like that.
I'm personally not, but there are people who are hodlers, and that's great for me as an investor. That's good.
Yeah.
Hold. Be a hodler. Increase the value of it. That's what I want to see. Right? When Bitcoin goes up, that's because people are holding Bitcoin.
It's easy for you to sell and flip.
Correct. So when the whole crypto market goes up, it's because of Bitcoin. That's why I chart Bitcoin on my YouTube channel. It's just I only talk about Bitcoin mainly. Why? Because when Bitcoin goes up, everything else is going to follow. So then I look at altcoins after Bitcoin. So once Bitcoin has gone up, then we start going into altcoins, and then I'll post videos. Look into this coin. Look into that coin. This is a great coin, because I spent 60 hours researching. And here's another thing I would really, really want to get this point across.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to invest in crypto, you better do your due diligence, because you will lose your money if you don't. Don't think for 1 second that because you watch Joe Blow on YouTube, Alex Beck told you to buy this and Alex Becker told me to buy that you're going to make money. Be very, very cautious and wary. Some of these projects I've gone into and asked questions on their Discord and their Twitter, and they weren't able to answer it for me.
Yeah.
You jump on Twitter. Twitter's the best place, right? You go on Twitter, they have AMAs. So they're live, talks, and you can press and request to be a speaker.
Yeah.
I requested to be a speaker on a number of projects that I've gone into, and I've asked the questions. And the responses that I got, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And as an investor, I thought, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy into this project, right?
Sure.
You need a roadmap. So I created a video recently about what to ask and what to look out for. I've created a new series on my YouTube channel because I want to educate people. I don't want people to lose money.
Yeah.
95% of these projects are going to be absolute rubbish in this future, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, you can still make money on them.
For sure.
That's the thing. And that's where chart analysis comes into play and fundamental analysis.
That's what Dylan was saying as well. It's like, who's the founder? Who's managing it? Where's the roadmap? Who's involved? What utility is it? What value is it providing? It's like if they can't answer these questions, or they can't tell you who's running the project, they're probably full of shit.
Exactly. Stay the hell away from it, right? Don't buy into the hype on social media, because if you do that, you're going to get wrecked. Right?
It's funny because
I'm on the term
Facebook,
that they use.
I'm on Facebook nowadays, and you're seeing like, Cristiano Ronaldo and Gary Vee bought Hype Monkey. Here's link to purchase.
Pump and dump.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Remember
fun.
this, yeah? Pump and dump. Please understand that these influencers know that you're going to buy because you're buying into them. That's who you're buying. You're not buying into the NFT.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You're buying into them. You're buying into the hype.
So if you're ready,
what are your thoughts on sentimental purchases? Because that was brought up with Dylan.
Sentimental analysis.
Yeah. Like my VV NFTs, I don't want to ever sell them.
Yeah. So they're sentimental to you.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are. I've spent a lot, but look, with that being said, when it comes to trading, you can't be emotional. You've got to be a road. You got to be
just business in general.
You got to be a road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you have a house that you lived in 10 years, but it's gone to a point where you make good money, you sell it. Just don't be emotional. Just
Don't be emotional.
Can't be.
Can't be.
Don't think, just do.
Exactly. I love that motto by Nike. It's very, very true.
But again, if you're not already following Max on all platforms, please get on there, because he's educating people with the right things to do, how to not get scammed and get wrecked. So please do that. But you quickly touch on Twitter, and I want to touch on Discord real quickly.
Yeah.
How you, again, it's a weird platform. It's relatively new.
Yeah.
Oh, Discord.
Discord. How would you explain what it is? Is it just like, would you say it's a platform for people to just join crypto and NFT groups to learn about that particular coin? Or like how would you describe it?
Well, Discord was created by gaming nerds, really, right? And I'm one of them. So I've been using Discord for quite a long time, number of years. Now it's starting to be a fantastic place to connect with people, ask the right questions, and see how transparent a project is.
Yep.
It's very, very important. Now, you can get in touch with the developers of the project by going onto their Discord groups, which is something I highly recommend. I recommend Twitter. I recommend Discord.
And that's where you do a lot of your due diligence, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I verify what they say.
Yeah.
And then I go on the internet and I search and I find out.
Is what they're saying true?
Exactly. Right. And if say, for example, right, there's a few projects that the scams are so elaborate in advance, they'll have fake LinkedIn people and everything like that.
Okay.
When you go in, you click into it, and you see their engagement, it's all by bots.
Yeah.
Or they got zero engagement. Or if you jump on their Twitter, there's 100,000 likes, but then you go in the comments and it's all robots. Got to be very, very careful. And when I'm saying due diligence, I mean due diligence,
Look
right?
out for these red flags.
Look out at these red flags, exactly. Because if you don't and you're complacent, your hard-earned money is going to go down the toilet, right? It's very, very easy to lose money here. This is very new. Now, it will become more refined, but when that day happens, you're not going to make money, right? It's going to be like the normal stocks. You know, the percentage gains, it's not going to be as volatile. Volatility is a trader's dream. We love it. It's the best. And you know those hypes? I buy into those hypes and I make sure that I quickly sell before everyone else does.
Yeah.
That's one of my tactics.
Wow.
Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Oh, it's a good one. I like that. I learned this. I heard this quote the other day. I want to see if you reckon it sort of applies to the crypto space as well.
Yeah.
Volume is vanity, profit is sanity.
Volume is, sorry, repeat that
So
again.
it's volume is vanity,
Yeah.
profit is sanity.
Okay.
So it's like,
I don't get it though.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
or maybe it doesn't apply to this space, but for an example, it's like, in like a business sense, people are like, yeah, bro, I'm turning over $2 million. Okay. But what's your profit?
Yeah. You can have $1 million business, but if you're only pocketing $5,000, what the hell is the bloody point,
Exactly,
right? You're
yeah.
putting all that effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
How would that work with
crypto?
crypto?
That's what I was asking. Like, is there a point of just like, buying all these random things?
There
like
is. Yeah,
smaller
absolutely.
small is like, again, this isn't financial advice, but is it better to, or do you recommend buying, little bits of multiple coins, or like chuck a large sum of money into like one or two coins? Like,
Let me ask this question though. Do you know how to read a chart? No? Don't invest in crypto. Don't invest in anything.
Unless you know how to read a
All
chart.
right? Unless you know how to read a chart or you know fundamental analysis to a T. You don't know any of those things.
Does a pie chart count?
I can read a Venn diagram.
And
Any bar graphs?
And a lot of people are going to get pissed off by that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As straight up as it is.
But you're doing it for their
You're
benefit,
doing it,
so-
yeah. You're doing
because
them
statistically
a favor.
speaking, you're going to lose, right? So if you got that DCA mentality and you're holding long term, sure, take that risk. That's a risk in itself by holding long term in a project that is experimental.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that these projects are not experimental. Each and every single one of them are. Even Bitcoin is. Okay, it's not 100% refined.
Yeah.
Okay, we still don't know what to do with Bitcoin in our society. We
Yeah.
don't know how to integrate it properly. There's regulations, there's government issues,
Yeah.
right? So don't tell me that crypto is refined. It's not. But do not ignore the space, because if you do, you're missing out on a world of opportunities, because there are people that are making life-changing wealth.
We've said this before. It's like we're at the time now of like Google just coming out.
We are.
And people then would have said,
Yeah.
"Look at the fuck's this Google."
Exactly.
What is
Gonna use
Google? It's going to be nothing.
I'm going to make a prediction here, okay? I'm going to predict in the next 10 years, without you even realizing it, you're going to be using cryptocurrencies,
Yeah.
whether you realize it or not, and you're going to be using NFTs, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
It's just going to be in a very streamlined manner,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to even know the difference between it. I
We're gonna
promise you.
we're gonna look back in this at what's today's date? The 4th of March 2032, and like, I told you so. I told you so. Should have listened.
Yeah, fuck, that was crazy.
One last thing I wanted to ask.
Go for it.
Is there, what sort of, say, green flags
Yeah.
would you say there is to what makes a good utility / project when looking into a coin?
Yeah, so it's resolving or providing a service that is in demand. Okay, that's what I look for. Okay, because what trading essentially is that you're looking at a chart and you're trying to find the demand of something. Now, the demand is going to be there if it's providing a utility. So if in the respect of Ethereum, right, they're doing a lot in the crypto space. So they're this organization where you can have these digital coins, you can trade these digital coins, you can buy your NFTs, you can have finance products built on it, you can build metaverse projects on it, you can do so many things on this network, right? It's providing a lot of utility, and many projects have built their businesses on it. And those businesses are providing solutions into a whole range of different things, right? And problems that we're facing as humanity, right? And so I look at projects that are doing big things in that sort of regards. Like Cardano, it cops a lot of shit. It's a very, very slow project. It's got a very, very long-term outlook, perspective. That is probably the only one that long-term I'm invested in. Okay, but I don't have, 80% of my portfolio in Cardano.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'll have something less than 5% and no more than that. It's high risk doing long-term, right?
Yeah.
But I've just got that there, just staking, earning a bit of interest. And it's just, for me personally, it's a little bit of like, well, let's try this HODL thing out.
Yeah.
But I get more of my returns by going in and getting out, going in and getting out.
Yeah.
Right? Because the charts tell you, it's time to get in. Momentum is going up. Okay, we've got to break a structure. Momentum's going down. All these indicators are pointing downwards. Get the hell out. And that's it. And that's what I'm trying to target.
Could you say the cycles are similar to what like a property cycle would be? Because we've got cycles as well in the property industry where you can actually see through prices that it's going on an incline and then it's going to crash, or it's going to peak and crash.
It's a very good question that you asked, because here's my theory on Bitcoin. Bitcoin provided every 4 years an opportunity to create a significant amount of wealth. It did that, I think, like 3 or 4 times, right? Now it's at a place where it's more institutions that are involved in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is quite a lot of money. Back in the days, you can buy one Bitcoin for a couple of dollars.
You see the guy about the one that...
The pizza?
The pizza?
Yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous. You would have been burning... Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So what it did was, that was its full experimental phase. Now institutions look at it as a little bit of a safer option. It's at a point where they're saying, okay, well, we can actually invest in this now, right? Because we can see a pattern. We have some data now to suggest that this is something that is worth for us getting into. And again, their portfolios, they're trillions of dollars in this and billions of dollars in that, and their portfolio is a very small margin that it's Bitcoin. Right? It's not like it's 50% Bitcoin.
No,
unless you're micro strategies, that's a whole nother, their whole nother ball game. But small portion is in Bitcoin, but that amount that it increases by every single year is something that you cannot ignore, right? It's making a lot of people wealth, making a lot of people money. But you pay attention to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's going up, your altcoins are going to go up. Bitcoin goes up 20, 30%. Your altcoins can go up to 2, 3, 4, 5x, 10x. Yeah, it really can. But there's a lot of things to take into consideration, and it's not that easy. Yeah. Okay. So you need a strategy.
Due diligence.
Oh my God. Yeah, I always do that.
Oh my God.
I always do that.
Do your... You know what's going on there. The music's playing on the iPad out of nowhere. That's a good song. So guys, do your due diligence.
That's right.
So
and hence, contact Max on Instagram.
He does do courses and educate people, but again, if you're looking to get into the space,
would highly recommend if you're
Discord,
looking at getting into
the coins you're looking at buying, Discord, get into their groups, ask questions, Twitter, follow Max on Instagram
at Max_strategies.
Follow.
We'll put it in.
Subscribe to. He's got heaps of free content. If you want to get into it, look him up. Don't hesitate. That wraps up another episode of the Life Pod. Thank you so much for providing so much value and knowledge and education to us and the audience. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you, Max.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
Hopefully it wasn't confusing.
Nah, it wasn't. It was all good.
Bye.
Thanks.